Hey y'all, it's Misty with My Paper Cuts, and I'm coming on today with a St. Patrick's Day card share. So I had recently ordered this penny black stamp called Irish Luck with this really cute little bear, and I was dying to use it, so I went ahead and watercolored the image, and then in the middle of the night one night, I woke up with this idea for the card, and you ever get that idea where you just want to, you're literally, you feel like you're itching to go do it, like you can't, like it's almost physically uncomfortable when the idea is in your head and you need to just go put it into action. Well, that's where I was. But I am way too old to be getting up in the middle of the night, so I had to wait. But I did make it come to fruition the very next day, so that made me super happy. So my idea was to, even though he was watercolored on a panel, was to cut him out cut the panel with a shape of some sort, and then cut across at an angle, fussy cut just the top of him, and then do a rainbow behind him of ink smushed strips from Distress Oxide inks. I wanted to use oxide because they do have that softer effect to go with the watercolor. And they're just like softer colors is basically what I'm trying to say. So I die cut him out with the nested shape, and he is on a gold foil panel of the same shape, but that is the largest one in the set. And so I decided to just mount the whole panel on an A2 card base, and then I just snipped the corners at approximately a matte width. It's not perfect, but I'm okay with that. And then I popped him up on just another layer of watercolor paper so that I could do these strips behind him and there wouldn't be too much of a bump there. So I created all of the panels with, like I said, oxide inks. These are the ones that I chose. I have Festive Berries, Spiced Marmalade, Squeezed Lemonade, Mowed Lawn, Salty Ocean, and Dusty Concord. I went with a softer palette for sure. And then I did do coordinating mica sprays and just splattered them on each panel. And my thought was just to cut it into strips, but I really wanted to have the definition in between the strips. I didn't want it to look like a solid panel. I really wanted it to look like strips. So I got this out, which is a Spellbinders hot foil kit, and a lot of them come with the sentiment strips. And so this one is the holiday sentiments. It's just a really small little set, but it has this nice strip in it. Now, I would advise if you do something like this to not do it that way. Just cut the strips, because I believe the pressure from the machine makes this bow a little bit when you actually run it through. And I have this Sizzix switch, so it's a lot of pressure. But when I was trying to bump these strips up against each other to glue them down, they weren't lining up perfectly. There was definitely a curve. And since I had gold foil paper behind, it was showing through. It was very frustrating. So what I ended up doing was putting it on another layer of just copy paper before I glued it down so I could keep the shine from popping through. I do have a couple that have the shine popping through, but it's fine. It's a lesson learned. But if I did this again, I would definitely just cut strips with my guillotine trimmer so I know that they're cut straight. That was definitely something I had never come across before, so maybe everybody knows that already, but it was a lesson learned for me. The watercolor bear is accented. I have rock candy glitter on both of his shamrocks, the one in his hat and the one in his pocket. And I used my black glaze pen on his buttons and his eyes just to add a little bit of shine. Not sure if the camera will pick that up. The banner is cut with my Creative Time die, which is the heart label dies, and it's just this one. I just happen to have this still sitting on my desk, so it worked out perfect. And the sentiment, Wishing You a Pot of Gold, is from this Tula and Norbert's Lucky Charm. This is part of the Photoplay gnome collection. You know, they have them for each holiday, so this is the St. Patrick's Day. So I used both the Wishing You a Pot of Gold and the Happy St. Patrick's Day. So the Wishing You a Pot of Gold I obviously did on the banner. I did put a little bump in the banner, and I put a thin foam square. These are the really thin ones from Scrapbook Adhesives. behind it and curved up the end piece just a little bit, just to give it a little bit more interest. And then this little heart enamel dot, or actually sticker, is from Sticko. They come in this set of green, yellow, orange, and teal. I think I bought these at a warehouse sale at some point. But so that is the front of the card. Hopefully you can see the shine from the mica on there. And on the inside, I just stamped the Happy St. Patrick's Day on a panel cut with that same largest die, because I knew it would fit perfectly inside the base since I cut the corners to match it on the outside. And I stamped the shamrocks just from this set. They were just sitting there, so I figured I might as well use them. So I did make 6 of these. I'm super pleased with how they turned out, and I might even make a few more just because they are super cute. And it was really fun to do the ink smushing. I forget to get messy once in a while, so it was nice to do that. And that's it. So thanks for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed my cards, and I will see you on the next video. Toodles.